two-shot launch steel tip action on the 4th generation Bandit board, adding the one-piece flight deck system to all steel tip barrels as well. I'll be throwing 23-gram weight everything, starting with the Celt Tornos, followed by Roman Empire Juno, and finally the Celt Balor Dart. God, I love the steel tip version even more. It's longer and more torpedo-y than the soft tip. We've got a straight barrel now with evenly distributed weight. I'm going to use that King Crown milling as my grip reference. Schott calls that gnarly rear section vessel grip, I believe. It's unmatched by anything I've felt before, honestly. 83 scored. Next up, we've got the Celt Balor Bomber Dart. This is the hardest changeup for me because it's front-weighted, so that means I have to hold in the max diameter. Yeah, good pick. Oh my gosh, guys. New darts, new Bandit dartboard, and new flight deck colors. Go ham.
Alrighty, everybody. Hey, welcome back. Here we go. Division 1 finals of the DPFL DPFL online season. About said live event. Hey, that's still a little bit to go in August in the great state of Florida, Orlando to be exact. I guess I should say Kissimmee, as that would be the proper town. I'll get butchered for that one. But hey, how about this one? Division 1 finals. Brandon McDonald of Canada, Nova Scotia to be exact, taking on John Schaumann of Schaumann of South Carolina. So looking forward to a good one here. They've already got underway. 104 checkout needed for John, as we are still 0-0. But this is going to be a quick affair between these two gentlemen. They're not going to mess around. No doubt in my mind. They're both quality players. So see that nice Phoenix Scorch board for Brandon. Popular by a lot of those Canadian players. But here we go. 56 needed for John for a 1-0 advantage. Tops. And pins it, second dart. Folks, that's what we're going to see here in this Division 1 final. Some excitement coming your way. So for Brandon, he's got 16 180s, 19 180s on the season for John. Both of them had 7 in the round-robin stages. And, how about 9 and then 12 for John in the playoffs, as we could get one here. We do. That is Brandon McDonald's 17th 180 on the season, and what a time to hit it here in this final. In the round-robin stages, both averaged around a 70, 73.70 for Brandon, 70.15 for John. That was 6th and 18th overall. And then you go to the playoffs where, how about they've been 3rd and 4th overall with a 78.32 for Brandon and a 76.75 average for John. Pretty impressive there, but the first 9 is what's even more impressive. 85.09 for Brandon and an 89.91 for John. So maybe a case of some missed doubles being a factor in his game. So we'll see if he can piece it together here for a title. 51. Welcome in, everybody joining us. So we get Mike tuning in, Tommy tuning in, Justin, Alan Palmer, hello, sir. Mike saying boom for that big 180. I just got to remember I got to keep my mouse on that ticker here, as Dark Connect's being finicky for me, and it's a self issue. It's not a Dark Connect issue, let's be honest. Just me being dumb. But 217 for Brandon, as he'll look to take this on down to a checkout look. She'll be able to do that. Hoping for a triple, gets it. 93 on the board. that will certainly help get you to where you want to be. So leave a 1-2-4 with John, well, needing 2 triples plus in order to leave a check here. There's the first. Won't get it with the second, and I hate to say it, that's not going to be a checkout look. So Brandon with 6 from the 1-2-4 to make this 1-1. As you can see, first to 12 leg battle here for this final. A little extended format from our first to 7 leg for battle we saw in the Division 4 final. But a little bit better averages will extend that format out for you. Why wouldn't we? Yeah, just 60 there. Sets up the 157, but Brandon for 84 should be able to capitalize here and at least leave himself 3 darts at it, or take it out right here. No, cannot do it. So John will get a look. It's a hefty look at a 157, but no better time than now. No better time than now. Won't convert as it's just above that triple 20. Good marker there for Brandon. See if he can use it. He can. It looks in. That beautiful shot of his board. Look at the colors, and the camera's spot on, right where you want it to be. Just right on with the bull. You get a clear view of every single double, triple, bull look possible, as he'll take 1-1 in this final. Good opener for John over 140. Telling you, these guys will push the limits here in this one. I have no doubt in my mind, as they have impressive averages in this playoff run and some pretty good, well, I should say a couple good matches where they both averaged 80 plus. And in a Division I run, that'll be dominant in some Premier League runs, to be fair, some Premier Division runs. It's kind of scary as me, sitting at I think I'm a 67 or 68 Dart Connect average, although I haven't played on Dart Connect tournament-wise in a while. I am in that range, and that's kind of scary. If I'm wanting to get into next season, I'm probably going to be in Division I, and I know I can't compete with no 80, 83 or 79 average right now. 100. I would love to say I could, but oof. That's difficult. The consistency is just off for me. These guys are definitely finding it. Great 133. Yes, to find the 170 look. Brandon, the first one out of checkout. Anytime you can do that, that would be great. And I do not think I'm going to. That's where I'm kind of at. I would love to play, but I'm just going to get demolished in Division I, I feel. And, I mean, time is tough there, too, because I commit so much time to streaming. And, family time is quality time. So, plus when I'm here, I'm working so much. But, hey, I love to commit to it, but I just don't know if I can. 112 for John here. Will not get a look. He's outside with both. Does go 88 to leave the 24 opportunity. Only if he gets the opportunity. As he will. Brandon just outside on his look.
Second dart.
And John will capitalize. Second dart. 17 dart leg for John there. Michael Tieske saying, should be a great match here. Yeah, definitely so, Michael. And speaking of good matches, your match tomorrow with Brad Lewis should be entertaining to boot. 8 p.m. Eastern time, folks. Join us for the Division II semifinals between Brad Lewis and Michael Tieske. Another Canadian-USA matchup. Some good averages there in that one. 66 apiece. How about 66.19, 66.14 on playoff runs for those two guys? That's pretty impressive. Should be a good one. Not the best of starts for Brandon. He'd love to have that one back, as John will put immediate pressure on and try to break throw here. That could be the factor, is who breaks throw and is able to hold on and go, because maybe that bull is a factor here. Until John wanted a little bit more from that round. Anytime you hit a flat 60 at this level, it just feels like maybe you needed that triple. Maybe you needed that ton. Maybe 60 wasn't quite enough, because you got to think your opponent's going to slap it right back at you. If not, then some. It's rarity that they're going to pop a 41 or a 26 on you. Maybe get lucky with that one. I want to give a big shout out to our ladies. That's right, our ladies. I have to do that one. Well, because unfortunately they didn't get the opportunity to be streamed for their final. I guess they went ahead and played on. Paula Murphy, 8-3 over Kira Taylor of Canada. So another USA-Canada match up there. Paula Murphy on a run beat Callie West 7-5 in the semis, and then Kira Taylor beat Casey Scantlin in the semis with a 7-2 win. 100. So just want to mention our women and not leave them out. Congrats to Paula Murphy, your women's division champion, and Kira Taylor, your second place finisher. Division 3, Zach Nelson versus Colton Dunn, who we saw at the Las Vegas Open. Impressive young 12-year-old. The winner plays Edgar Lane in the final there of that one. So keep those in mind. At least two finals coming your way, Division 2 and Division 3. Good look there for John. 105 leaves the 36, and with Brandon at 166, this is a great time to break throw for a 3-1. Yeah, pins it first dart. Great dart from John Schaumann, who grabs that leg and, gets the first break. Using that 180 Gladiator 3 board. A little bit tougher board, but still a good board at that. It holds up very nicely. John I mentioned Brandon had a real stinker start in the last one. That's kind of John's stinker start of only 43 because, Brandon throws a 140 at you and instantly could cause some issues if he breaks right back at you. Folks, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. 138. Good amount of viewership for our coverage on this one. 95. Live on USA Darts Facebook and YouTube pages, as well as our Twitter. And then, of course, DPFL Darts Facebook as well. Don't forget, Season 11 will start February 2nd. Get involved today. You need to head over to dpfldarts.com to get in on the action. Good 140 from John, but unfortunately still outside looking in. 180 needed. And that's a great shot from Brandon. Great 134. You got to think, I need at least 99 here. You're thinking 167. To leave yourself the champagne shot of 132 is always nice. But what kind of pressure will he be under? He'll be under a good amount. As John hits the ton to leave 80 here, it'll be bull for Brandon. And no look given after a single 12. Kind of sets himself up for the, cue job on the 80 to leave tops. But John, for 4-1, this would be quite the advantage. Oh, no. Did he go tops there? Interesting time. I don't see him going for that. Maybe just a split, and then he bust? Oh, no, John. You don't want to do that. And Brandon capitalizes for the break. What an interesting circumstance there. As John, I don't think he went for tops, although it looked like it. You can see him go, oh, no. Maybe it was a slip. Maybe he went for it, but either way, cost him a look.
57.
Corey saying, attaboy, Brandon, let's go in the chat. A little support for the Canadians as Paula Delory says, let's go, Brandon, as well, with a little maple leaf and Canadian flag. I tell you what is prominent. You go to a dart tournament, you certainly can spot the Canadians in the room. Most of them, if not all of them, have a Canadian, or no, I shouldn't say Canadian, a maple leaf on their shirt. It was interesting to see that at the Las Vegas Open when we were there. Everywhere you went, you could spot the Canadians as they had it somewhere, whether it was on the shoulder, the bottom of the shirt. It was present. Tommy says, no, and John definitely went tops. That's great. So you hear it from Tommy that John's a tops kind of guy, and he'll throw that at you every once in a while. So maybe he did. Maybe he did attempt it. Nick saying, let's go, Minnie. I've heard that a few times. I don't know who Minnie is. I'm guessing Brandon. I did mention where they're located. South Carolina for John, and then Nova Scotia for Brandon. I did pull the you from Ontario? And he said, nope, Nova Scotia. I said, I guess I should have listened a little bit before I talked. Minnie is John. So there we go. Thanks for the correction. See, I think I've seen John before at a tournament, and he doesn't take me as a Minnie kind of guy. Maybe I'm mistaken with the face with the name. That can easily happen, I guess, here. But sets himself up with 60. Brandon, though, tops for 3-3 over to double 10. And it looks outside there, so it will go to John for 3 consecutive breaks. And there you go. 3 consecutive breaks it is as he goes 4-2 here, lead in this one. Well, let me know where you're tuning in from, folks. We'd appreciate that. A little conversation from the chat. Keep me motivated and going is always nice. But so far, some good stuff here in this one. John about to hit a 180.
180.
Hey, he does. That's a 180 as he pops his first big one of the evening. I think that's 1 for 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Brandon has 17 now, and John has 20 on the season. You got Augusta, Georgia. Beautiful Augusta, Georgia for Tommy. Well, in regards to the Masters course, of course. Of course, that's good. We got Summerville, South Carolina as well. John will be thinking at least a ton here. Turn up the player volume just a touch so we can hear them a little bit more. You got Tieske tuning in from Orlando, Florida. Alberta from Marine. And Brizzle Adams from Massachusetts joining us. Love that. John did capitalize on that ton. 161 with Brandon outside looking in. Needs 2 triples when he returns. So you got to favor John for 6 from this 161.
57.
As we'll see if that's what happens or if Brandon can capitalize here with a 140. Yeah, not the best of goes for Brandon. So, yes, you got some turns here. 6 from 104. So go 16, single 16 for tops. He does miss in high into the 8, so.
It is 32 of 72.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, 72 for 32. I think he was maybe aiming for 8 there to leave himself tops. He prefers tops from what it looks like. He's been fairly productive on that number. Inside, got to go to double 8. Gets it. He holds throw as he gets an extended lead here of 5-2. He'll take that in this first to 12 leg battle. Ryan Brogan says 2 great players deserving to be in the finals. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I was mentioning the averages and what have you. But as we were kind of rolling along in the first couple legs, and yeah, pretty impressive here. I mean, Brandon's best win was a 82.84 average and an 11-2 win over Ron Gaiman, and for John it was a 80.4 and an 11-5 win over Tyler Nelson 100. In the playoffs, if I recall. If I wrote that down correctly.
100.
Yeah, but this is certainly you're able to see the difference between your divisions here just in this match. It's the consecutive nature of all these triples, and then the cleanup jobs on the doubles that they're only missing maybe 1 to 2, 3 darts at a double before they're taking it out, and that's key to having the averages where they're at currently. Is John, 85 plus currently, could push a 90 here if he hits this 180. Just about does it. Good 140 to leave the 161. Yeah, our Ranger saying, don't know if it's the camera, the lighting, or the board, but wow, Brandon's board just pops. Yeah, it's a combination of the 3. The scorch boards are definitely pretty bright, but the camera angle being where it is perfect. You want it right on bull height. That's what I prefer, at least. It gives you a clear view. And then, just he's got a good camera. It's probably 1080p. That's going to really help out with that, but. Great 137. Massive pressure on this 1-2-1 for Brandon. And unfortunately can't convert on 51. So double 12 for John to go 6-2 ahead.
second dart.
Well off with the first, but
Thank you, you too.
positions it correctly there to take it. And you can see the fact that Brandon saying good shot, John saying, yeah, I mean, you had a good leg there too. It's just John took it out in 14. What can you do there as he pushes it closer to the 90 range? This is just impressive from John.
100.
Nick saying Mini won D2 last season, now throwing great in the final of D1. He's been on fire. Yeah, I mean, the winner, I think, does advance and will move up to the Premier Division next season. As you saw him go from, but to go from D2 final, and then you're in the final of D1, that speaks volumes to where you're at and how you're throwing right now. Definitely a person to watch out for in the future is, wow, D2, D1 final, back-to-back. Take that. Heck yeah. Thank you, Nick, for the mentionables there. We appreciate that. And thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We definitely appreciate you there as well. We got some good viewership tonight
48.
for our coverage of this one.
$60.
Update scoreboard there. There we go. Yeah, leaving the 303 look is Brandon, but you can see once again the advantage, well, because of the start, but just because of his play right now, is in John's hands.
100.
Ton does set up the 140. Great stuff. As this is just, I can't stress it enough. This is just really impressive stuff from John. And Brandon's doing nothing wrong. I mean, he's just not there average-wise where John is. I mean, his average is right in line with where it should be for the playoffs. It's just John's a little bit better right now.
$58.
Well, my wording's off. It says set signed up, but get signed up for season 11 today. www.dpfldarts.com to get in on the action. Got to think bull here for John. It is 17 for tops. And he
42.
misses just outside. So if you're Brandon, you have to take advantage here. It looks to be inside. He'll go up to double five, and it's outside there. Oh, no. John getting another look at tops is dangerous. He's been effective. And that's like in the slightest. I don't even, that's like the smallest word you can use there. He's just been very good on double tops. That one clearly not.
Yeah, second
But he
dart.
cleans it up, double 10, 7-2 advantage for John. And wow, Tyler Nelson says it all. He said even 82 and losing 6-2 is crazy. 88 average for Division I is wild. Yeah, you're speaking it, man. I mentioned his win against you in I believe it was a playoffs win, 80.4, and now he's throwing an 86.23. Wow. And Brandon, it's easy to let yourself get beat up on this one because you're down 7-2, but once again, he's doing nothing wrong here. He's throwing very well. It's just John, again, is playing just a touch better, and it's showing. John's getting an extra dart here, a dart or two, where Brandon's not. And 44-54 certainly won't help. John looking for a ton minimum here. Gets the first.
140.
Yeah, gets the third as well. Great 140 as he takes advantage of the two lackluster rounds for Brandon.
66.
And this is what I'm talking about. I think it's easy for Brandon to kind of beat himself up for this one, but it's not that you're, once again, I keep saying it, it's not that you're playing bad. Keep your head in it and keep going, and maybe John will fall off here a little bit.
125.
Oh, but right now, that's a slim maybe, because he's only 5 legs away from a win.
44.
A few more folks joining us here in the chat. We appreciate it. Once again, you do not have to be this level of player
139.
to get involved. They have a youth division, women's division. They also have Division 4 through through the Premier Division. So 4 divisions, and then the Premier Division as well on the male side. So get your slice of the pie before the live event in August. 52 for John, 12 for Tops. I believe that's 36.
Second dart. Nice shot. Yeah.
Yeah, no messing around. For another 14 dart leg for John, and he cleans up the miss on the single 12, and no hesitation, right to double 8, pins it. 8-2 advantage. Wow. Yeah, once again, unmentionable. I mean, I said the youth and then divisions, 4 through Premier. I mean, I believe Colton Dunn did play in the youth division as well, and he currently sits in the semifinals of Division 3, about to take on Zach Nielsen. I mean, impressive individual that we saw at the Las Vegas Open through checkouts of 106 and 112. I believe had a 180 in there as well. Just
54.
It's great to see that, but it's also great to see those opportunities. I know Paula Murphy, I believe, was in she did make the playoffs and make a run
140.
in one of her divisions. I believe it's Division 1 or Division 2. I can't recall off the top of my head, but then she, of course, won the women's division as well. So getting a couple opportunities there, whether you're youth or women, to kind of play both, which is great. I like that.
60.
Brandon, this is your opportunity here. You've got to take this leg, you feel. This is really an opportunity.
92.
Yeah, grabs the last as a kind of saving grace there. You can wipe the brow on that one.
$140.
But what do you do? What do you do? You eventually, I said it, you eventually got to hope for a fall off, but will it happen at this point is the ultimate question. You don't know. He's running off of pure adrenaline, and he's got the momentum heavily on his side in favor of John. Yeah, great 133. But if you're Brandon, 160, no, will not get the look now after the single 5, and we're seeing the sporadic 1 or 2 here in this one. Of course, it'll be 14 for Tops.
Oh, come on. 34.
And you hear John give the come on as he gives the look right back to Brandon on 116. I like his play here going to the 19s. That's my route as well, although he didn't capitalize on the triple. He does get one there at the last, but it's probably going to go for John. First or second dart, you feel?
First.
Yep, first dart it is. And
Thank you.
you just sense that one coming. What I didn't sense is this being the score line that it currently is. I honestly thought we kind of drag out battle here until maybe leg number 15. And then we see maybe that moment where somebody breaks through, but I didn't see John just playing like this and putting up the numbers he is. But kudos to him.
100.
We get Trevor Washburn saying 87 is a solid average. Yeah, and it's on 11 legs. This is leg number 12 now, of course. So, usually you see some form of drop, as I mentioned before. But right now, is he going to get a drop, or is it just going to be right out full on adrenaline the whole way? Because you can experience that. I mean, I kind of experience that when I go into tournaments play. I don't really play much anymore, but I do practice here and there. But once you hit the tournament room, maybe you get that little spike of adrenaline, and it helps you kind of focus in a little bit more, and you see your darts go in your favor.
$100.
Nick saying since going double-double, he hasn't dropped a leg. And, he hasn't missed tops much after that attempt either. And that was kind of a really bad attempt to say anything. But, yeah, he's been spot on, whether it be double top or double 10. But you've got to find at least one here to put pressure on the 148. Keep the pressure going.
35.
And he can't grab it. So Brandon, like I said before, you've got to take advantage of these opportunities to get yourself back in this match.
45.
And you would have hoped for a little bit more than that, to be fair. You need to at least find yourself in 2-dart range, right? Because you know he's going to put pressure on, right? Oh, not as much pressure as you would think. Only a score of 59. 19 leaves 84 and drops below the treble 20 there. So back to John on a 1-2-2. We'll start on the 18s. A 4. Mark leaves you the bull. That looks above. I think it is. You stay there. 86 remaining. Yep, does grab it. So 32 when he returns, if he returns. Brandon needs 32.
32.
Oh, no. He scores 32 instead to leave himself double 8. Will he return? Unlikely with John.
First start.
Yep. Like I said, unlikely. John's double percentage is just out the wazoo here. You got to feel it's above 50%, or at least hovering around the 50% range. Wish I had that readily available. Just like the PDC does. I mean, man, they have it on par.
Oh, wow. 11.
I guess I didn't think this type of double performance we would have seen here in this one, or I maybe should have wrote that down from the get-go.
93.
But a good 93 there from Brandon to take advantage of the lackluster turn from John.
Come on. Here you go. 43.
Brandon, you can see there kind of making sure to show his darts and proper online etiquette. You got to love seeing that. Just a reminder
25.
that it's always important to kind of show certain darts, especially when it's in corners of beds, just to make sure your opponent is not thinking in the back of their mind, maybe that wasn't that shot. Maybe that wasn't this. You don't want to have that happen. So good to see the etiquette there from Brandon and kind of touching him here and there and what have you. Brandon in good position, 210 after 9.
85.
You feel he's got to rattle off at least a few here. I would think 3 consecutive, at least, maybe 4 consecutive.
121.
To really feel like you stand a chance. Right now, you're still just trying to build your confidence to make a run. I mean, a couple good rounds back-to-back for Brandon. Good 14 or 15 dart leg would certainly help you out confidence-wise. Great 130 from John, but here we go. 19-20 for Bull. And that will certainly help your confidence. Great 15 darter, and he takes it out on Bull. Brandon McDonald may not be out of this match yet. I just realized I left the A out of his name, so my apologies, Brandon.
140. Oh, 32.
And now, of course, it's going to be a pain in the rear. There we go. Ha ha. Whoopsies.
140.
Do apologize for that one, as I had to move my mouse around, so I lost Dark Connect for you all. But we got a great leg scrapping up here from John once again, and Brandon's kind of fighting back here, 1-2-1, to set himself up. I agree, Mike. I wasn't making any calls for it. No one would ever do that, but I just like the touch of online etiquette there from Brandon, and we've seen it a couple times from John as well. It's just a mentionable. It's always good to do that if you're playing online darts and what have you. But I mean, what a good leg here between both these guys. But John
81.
setting himself up with tops once again to put himself one leg away and a possible 13 dart leg incoming. Won't be a 13. Won't be a 14. But it will
20.
not be a 15 either. How about a 1-2-6 look for Brandon? And it has to go. You think have to go. And it won't. Unfortunate stuff for Brandon. And there you go. Take advantage while you can, Brandon. I can't stress it enough. When he gives you the misses, you got to take him. And he tried to go bull again after an unfortunate first dart. He was going for 216s for tops. So you can blame that on a fat single miss. Double two. And double two is in. John Schaumann is one leg away from victory here in this Division I final. And an absolute heater, folks. Absolute heater. 84.59. So Brandon 77.99. I mean,
91.
This has potential to be one of the better finals we've ever seen in Division I in the history of DPFL. And this very well could take John to some big places down the road. I mean, this can compete with some CDC averages, no doubt. This is going to compete with some. So you can definitely make some runs to finals of tournaments at the big time level. I mean, Las Vegas Open could have made a run there with this kind of performance. No doubt in my mind. And I'll say it again. I mean, Brandon, he's not doing nothing wrong. It's just that John's been able to be one step and above of Brandon. I mean, it's just like he's just been 2 darts better than Brandon, it seems.
140.
And John could win it right here. A 42 from Brandon. He'll need 2 triples when he returns to set up a checkout. And John really doesn't even need that. So he does convert, though, nonetheless.
100.
And it's a good ton to leave the 1-2-6. John setting himself up for glory.
92. $86.
Cannot find the triple with this second, but, I mean, if you're going to leave it, There's no better spot to leave it than top. It's a number you fancied all evening. Go ahead and take it out for the title, John. What do you say?
Yeah, first start.
John Schaumann wins the Division I title in an absolute amazing performance. Wow. What a win here for John. I mean, wow. We'll talk to our players here. First, we'll take it to Brandon. I mean, Brandon, your overall average tonight was right there with your average throughout the whole season. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It just seemed like maybe John was just 1-2 darts better at you at times. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, it's like his scoring all night was unreal. Like, there's nothing I could do really. And when he got a shot, he was taking it out. So, like, couldn't afford to give him chances, which I did, and he took them out. Like, congrats to him. He played a hell of a match.
Yeah, I mean, double down there. Yeah, definitely one of the matches for average wise, very impressive. And yeah, you're right about the doubles there. He was just, that was really the factor, I think, in the matches. The doubles, when he got a look, he took it out, and I think he was riding a 50% checkout rate there or plus until the last few legs of the match. But we'll take it on over to John. John, what's your just initial thoughts there? A big, impressive performance with an 85.03 average.
Hey, he threw great. He just didn't hit the opportunities, and I got lucky and grabbed doubles when I needed them. It was a great match.
Yeah, I mean, both you guys have played great throughout your run here in Division I, but when you look at it, you were Division II champion from my understanding, and then to pull off the Division I title directly after. I mean, does that tell people where your game is at currently, or what you have the potential to do, or what's your thoughts on that?
Well, hopefully. I mean, it's Premier League next. I gotta play the big boys next.
Well, with performances like you both had all season, you both are going to be bound for Premier League. And John, you're going to be there, and Brandon, you're not too far off there, buddy. You guys both play fantastic darts, and congrats to both you on the run once again. I mean, Brandon, you're going to take home a good second place title. John, I mean, and you can't complain on your part. 85.17, you'll take that any day of the week.
Absolutely.
Well, there you go, folks. Your champion, John Schaumann, and then Brandon McDonald taking home the second place title. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it, and congrats once again.
Thanks,
Thank you.
All righty, folks. There you have it from our Division I finals. That was absolutely amazing, guys. That was incredible. I just want to make sure that we gave him a second. Wow. John playing impressive to get the job done here. Just 85.17 is all you got to say. Division I champion, taking home the title to South Carolina, and he'll be in Premier Division next season. And folks, we're going to see you tomorrow night with some more matchups as we take you down to Division number 2. It's going to be Brad Lewis taking on Michael Tieske in a semifinal matchup tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Join me for that one. I hope you do, as we're going to kick Nick on down the road, let him be with grandma as we continue to bring you the coverage here from the DPFL playoffs. All right, appreciate you folks joining us once again. A reminder, season 11 signups in tonight. DPFLdarts.com is where you want to go to get involved. Thanks for joining me. We appreciate it. And congrats to our Division 4 winner, Ryan Westover, and our Division 1 winner, John Schaumann, once again. Take care.